救命団の清掃だ。戦場で目立つようこの色にしてある。
ほう。
お前んだよ、着てみろ。
はい。
なかなか様になってんじゃねえか。鍛えてきた。
This is going to be the second time that I have to do this week and kind of give like a PSA or like a warning or something like that before I start a review. And let me just say this. If you are like one of those people who gets and by the way, it's okay to be this way. It's okay to be anyway. But if you're someone who gets really defensive if anything critical is said about something or someone that you love, hey, no problem. I appreciate you clicking on this video. Hit the like button. Have a great weekend, but maybe don't stick around. So here's the thing. I love, and I mean it, I love the wrong way to use healing magic. I love the story of this anime. Like, I think this is one of the best new shows of the season, bar none. I don't think it's the best show, but I think it's one of the best. And, in putting into that isekai genre, we've gotten a lot of bangers this season. Picking my actual favorite is a lot harder than I think it is because in the moment you feel, right? If you just get done watching something, you're like, oh, I love this so much. But a little time passes, you're like, oh, I really liked it, but maybe I wasn't in love, but and then I watched something else that week. I watched the next episode. I'm like, oh, this is the one. And I felt that way about the wrong way to use healing magic this season so far. What I want to say is last week during episode 6, I was like, this episode's a little bit boring, but like, hey, they're setting up stuff. Next episode, we're about to face the demon army. Shit's about to hit the fan. I'm ready. Like, let's go. Like, And then this episode, they wasted 11 minutes, 13 minutes, 14 minutes, 16 minutes, 19 minutes. We didn't even see the fucking demon army this week. And I was like, God, you gotta be kidding me, man. Like, this was a shit episode. And my problem is, like, I unequivocally know there is enough source material that could fill up 3 seasons. Maybe 2. No, yeah, 3. They could fill up 3 seasons. No problem. Not blinking an eye. Why are we stretching? Why are we stretching this out so much? Like, we already had a Kazuki Usato heart-to-heart last week, right? We already had an Usato Inukami or Ikanami, whatever the hell her name is, heart-to-heart last week. We already had the princess and Bro get closer last week. I understand that these things happened in the source material. No problem with that. Some things are just simply a better read than they are a watch. And some things need to be left on the cutting room floor. I am a unequivocal believer in if you could skip an entire episode by accident and you didn't miss nothing, that was a bad episode. And I think that's what this one was. Now, I don't mind seeing Bro get ready. I don't mind seeing him get his his new uniform. I don't mind them, what else really happened? Like his little speech between him and the leader. Like that's cool. Really, I think the only main things that mattered this week are him getting his uniform. And I honestly think, for real, I think that's really it. Because nothing else happened. Like, he had his little heart-to-heart with Uzaki or whatever. And he's like, yo, you scared? I'm scared. He had a little talk with Inukami. And she was like, yo, blah, blah, blah. Uzaki had his, or Uzaki, whatever the hell his name is, had his talk with the princess. She's like, oh, you called me my name? This episode, though, as we go into next week, and the king announced, the stuff that was happening. You take the king announcing his part. You take Usato getting his uniform from his leader. That's about 2 minutes worth of content. You take that and put that in the beginning of next episode, and virtually, nothing else really mattered. Mattered, from the story perspective. It's contextual and it's more. But yo, when we got a season that's 13 episodes long, it's like, yo, I don't want it to be misrepresented. I don't want like some crazy to happen, but at the same time, like this might be the only season we got. On top of everything else, like check this out. So I'm over here on Anime Trends, okay? And apparently the best. This is week 5, by the way. So this is week 5. Apparently, the one that's doing the best this season is Danger's in My Heart, 7th Time Loop, whoop, whoop, Apothecary Diaries, Solo Leveling. You know, we had to scroll down, and it makes the list. Okay, right above Delicious in a Dungeon. Don't get me wrong, I think Delicious in a Dungeon is pretty funny. It's right there, number 10. So I mean, it's on the list. But it's not like setting the Blaze top 5. You know what I mean? Like Sign of Affection, Hokkaido Girls. Hokkaido Girls are better. People like Hokkaido Girls more than they like this. So the reason I'm saying this is not to be doom and gloom and stuff. It's just to simply say there's a shot that even though there's a lot of source material, they don't get a season 2. And you always got to be thinking that way as a studio. You got to be hungry. And you got to be like, yo, we got to put out this product that's like it'll get people to crave a season 2. But also you got to be like, but if we don't, we got to really represent us because we got to go get another job. We got to go get another piece of source material. We got to get another work. So I don't know, man. Like my friends, this episode just wasn't that good. It was a little bit boring. Like, I didn't hate it, but at the same time, I was like, yo, what is this, man? It's like, let's get to the army. Let's get to this stuff. And if we didn't have last episode, that was kind of the same energy. Like, it put out a little context stuff, but I really feel in my heart, like, I think you could skip from episode 5 to whatever episode 8 is, and you wouldn't really be, like, super lost. And that's a problem. All right, I shitted on this episode for like 7 minutes straight. Again, I love the show. I love the show. And to anybody who said I don't love the show, I know you didn't make it this far in the video. I love the show. I think it's freaking awesome. I think the source material is awesome. There's some characters I can't wait to see. But yo, we keep dragging it out. I may never see them. So it's like, I don't know, y'all. But like, this is, this studio is a little different too. You know what I mean? Like, this studio, what works has this studio, 𝐒𝐮𝐩𝐸 Animation in partnership with Studio Ad. 𝐒𝐮𝐩𝐸 is also working on Dangerous in My Heart, the #1 of the season. So maybe they're taking more of the time. They're also partnered with Studio Ad, but Studio Ad, this is the only work they've ever worked on. So it's like, okay, I don't know. The source though, 10 out of 10. Like, this is effing awesome story. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna leave it there, y'all. Like, I felt like if I had to grade this episode, I would grade it a 5 out of 10. That's not saying the show is. I think the show itself, it's been putting out some really fire stuff. Episode 1 through 5, I was really with it. I think, you could probably put an 8.5 out of 10 from episode 1 to 5. Some of them are 10, some of them are 9, some of them are 7. But, like that average. But I think this one kind of poo-poos it down. And now if I had to add these two in, I'd probably be like 7.5, 7, high 7s, mid 7s out of 10, because it's like, a little, like mid 7s. I'll see you next week, my friends. Next week will be better because the actual stuff that we want to see is going to start. See you then.